With Himeko Nova coming up in 4.4, today I'm here with the full pre-farm guide, taking you over everything you do need to know in order to understand and prepare for her. Going from everything like general materials, ascension materials, trace materials, and even some relic and ornament recommendations on what you should and should hold off on farming. Please do keep in mind, this is not accounting for any light cones, this is just counting for Himeko Nova herself. Stuck grinding in Honkai Star Rail? Need Stellar Jades fast? We've got you covered. Head over to U7 Buy, your ultimate gaming hub for save fast and cheap in-game top-ups. Whether it's Star Rail or your other favorite games, U7 delivers instantly and players love it. Check out their Trustpilot reviews, they're actually top ranked. On the Honkai Star Rail direct top-up page, you can recharge your account in seconds. For example, 8080 Honorific shards cost $99.99 in the official store. However, on U7 Buy, you can see the price is cheaper. When you head over to U7 Buy, you might notice that the storefront display prices currently match the in-game store, but don't worry, the magic happens at checkout. Once you click the Buy Now button, your total instantly drops to our actual discounted price only. Just pick your server, enter UID, pay securely, and boom, your account is instantly loaded. Want extra savings? Use code PRETSR at checkout for 5% off, perfect for last minute pulls, battle passes, or surprising a friend. And here's a bonus. If you spend $80 a month on U7 Buy, you can grab the Honkai Star Rail Express Pass for only 1 cent, which is nearly free. Click on the link in my description, recharge fast, save more, and keep blazing those trails. As per usual, you will need 290 purple books in order to take her from level 1 to level 80, and having enough credits for everything, you will need roughly about 3.3 million credits. And just like for any other character, 8 tracks of destiny are going to be required if you do want to max out all her traces, and the full common materials she is using are the ones from Planet Arcadia, these ones down here, requiring a total of 56 green ones, 71 blue ones, and 73 purple ones. Been quite a few patches since Planet Arcadia has started, so you probably have enough. If not, just set your assignments for the early ones so you can convert that up. If you're approaching the date, maybe you're watching this later and you do need to actually farm the character mats, you can just track the enemies as it does say here. The higher equilibrium level, the more drops you'll get. And if you have Finon and Akron on the team, it's just going to make it a lot easier, or also Silverwolf because she does the same thing. So it's really easy to knock these out of the way. The Stagnant Shadow Ascension material she's going to be using is the Shape of Ashes. So don't farm any of these ones. There's 4 of them, so none of the ones from Ire, Scorch, or Blaze. It is the one from Shape of Ashes, requiring a total of 65 of these. It's really easy to knock these out the way. At the highest equilibrium level, you get 5 per run. So you just need about a full day's worth of stamina. You can just go there. If you need the location, it is right over here on the map. You just take the teleport here. It is in this part of the map in Emporius. Take the teleport, go down, go here. There's going to be a little thing that can kind of connect this way, and then you just go here, boom, there it is. Trace material she's going to be using is the Butt of Erudition, as she is an Erudition character, and the brand new one that we did just get in this update from the Seafeld TV Tower, requiring a total of 18 green ones, 69 blue ones, and 139 purple ones. Traces are cringe, so I definitely recommend getting started on this as soon as you possibly can. There's a lot of time, so you can easily be finished this with plenty of time left over, but if you're watching this in the future, you'll have even less time. But it's good to just get this done because traces do take a minute. You specifically need the location. It is right over here. I don't have it unlocked. There's really going to be a case where you never need the location anymore because this isn't Genshin. You can just kind of enter it without even going there. The Echo of War material she's going to be using is from the Iron Tomb boss fight, requiring a total of 12 of these. At highest equilibrium level, you get 3 per run, so you just need all 3 runs of a week and then 1 extra. It's also been in the game since, 3.7, so it's been a while. You probably just have enough sitting here, and if you don't, really easy to knock out the way as well. And then finally, when it does come to some relic recommendations, there isn't too many options, but she does have her best in slot already available, being Navigator set, as it does complement her playstyle, giving attack percent and also the 4Ps providing damage percent. Entering combat or using skill and then taking your turn or using ultimate will be able to remove a stack, and then you're able to keep it up in your ultimate and keep it going, and then you just have the full effect for the most part. Also, depending on the team, not taking too much turns, so that's also why it's usable there. Overall, regardless of the team setup, this is going to be her best in slot as she stacks it up very easily and is able to make good use of the effect. So since it just actually came out, maybe you're still farming for it and you're just gonna have really bad RNG, so you don't get a set. In that case, in the meantime, you can also just use something like Wave Strider. However, this is extremely team dependent. That's if you have stuff like RMC and or Sunday on the team or someone else targeting her. A lot of her current teams seem to consist of Blade and Welt, so there's not a whole lot of targeting. It depends on what sustain you're using. If you're using one, depends on what supports you're running. It's very team dependent. If you have someone that can help you actually stack this before before you go use the ultimate so you can actually get the effect, that's when you can actually use the set. If you're on a team where you don't get enough stacks or it just takes too long, then of course don't use this. But in every case, just get the actual navigator set. With 2 pieces, if you have to use that in the meantime, it's obvious you just use 2-piece attack and 2-piece of either crit or fire damage. Fire damage comes from 2-piece of the Firesmith set, so that gives fire damage. 2-piece attacks come from Wave Strider, the Dot set, Wind Soaring set, and also the Hero set. And then if you want crit rate, you can run either Scholar or World Remaking Deliverer for 8% crit rate. And if you want crit damage, 2-piece Wave Strider or 2-piece of the Everglorious set, as they both provide crit damage. Then when it comes to actual planner ornaments, there is an upcoming one in the 4.4 update that is going to be her best in slot, as it completely complements her actual playstyle and the requirements you would want on her team. So that is going to be the one you want to wait for. Don't use your stamina a lot on any of these, just save your farming for that upcoming one. However, of course, since you have to wait for it and you might pull her right away and then you'll want something usable in the meantime, if you're running her alongside specifically Permanent Terra Dawning, you can specifically use Ban and Amusement similar to other characters for up to 48% crit damage, because without him you're not going to be able to get the second part since he's able to attach the summon. You'd think the giant mech probably would be considered as a summon. It apparently doesn't, and also works differently, so that's why it doesn't. So do keep that in mind, since a lot of people asked about Evanesia's Fox when I did first talk about using her with Dawning specifically, and they thought that was a summon, even though it's called Fox Summon, it isn't. Just in case there's anyone that thinks the mech actually counts, it doesn't. So specifically for Permanent Dawning, you can use this. Otherwise, you can use either Rudolent or Salsado, because in her ultimate, it can be considered ult damage. Her new mechanic can be considered skill damage, so it's kind of just either or. Both of them can be a big source. Just kind of pick whichever one has super high substats, because you want to immediately replace it anyways. As again, compared to any of the options available right now, the brand new set is going to once again be perfectly tailor-made towards her. Hence why you specifically, 1, want to save all your stamina for that, because if you're going to farm for something, at least make sure it's optimal. And then 2, the other options available aren't really that great, because again, it's picking one or the other through skill or ult. And then specifically for people running Permanent Terra Dawning, because that is the whole restriction of the actual Ban and Amusement set, because otherwise it would not work, just be 16% crit damage, and in that case, not really that valuable. At least with the Rudolent or Salsado, you get some crit rate and then get to buff one or the other. Since the requirement for them is just crit rate based, and you always will want close to 100%, so that's why it's not necessarily a problem. Although if I did have to recommend one over the other when it comes to skill or alt, I would say primarily go Salsado, from what we do at least know. So yeah, as you can kind of tell, the actual relic set you are able to farm, because it is just a navigator set. Get that as soon as you can, otherwise Wave Shutter with specific teams. Ornament specific, wait on farming, otherwise use Ban and Amusement if with Permanent Terra Dawning. If not, primarily Salsado would be the recommendation, or you could technically use Rudolent. And that is the full pre-farm guide for Himeko. I do hope you found this video helpful. If you did, dropping a like, we greatly appreciate it. If you're new to the channel or haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon for future videos like this, along with all other types of Star content. Somehow, Mortanix Blade has not done a single idle animation as I am recording this, and I've been sitting here for a little while, so that's kind of weird. Anyway, peace out.